everyone, we are back on the study room. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing so good. Today we will be doing our first content video. I hope you have been good and happy new year once again, because we are now reopening we are fully operational here. So the title of the topic of our video today is how to be an excellent student. So it's more like the do's and the don'ts, and also the mistakes you can just say the mistakes you can avoid and the improvement you can take on. So I have a list here. I will be posting it as we go by, but this is how it goes. So based on my experience and just the observations, I believe that being an excellent student or a good student, this is what you can just have, since now it's the beginning of the year. It is the beginning of the year. I think we are like a month later since we have started your academic year. So which is, it's by deliberate, honestly, because it gives you the time to reflect and also figure out things on your own, so that when we come in as the mentorship, we know that you have your way paved and you know where you lack, what you need help on. Yeah, so it's just to give you some time to reflect and express on your own, then we come in later. So I'll be with you. Sorry guys. So I have the list here. I think it's about 10 what you can do. So I will be doing it this way: what you can do, what you cannot, what you can do, what you cannot. That's an advice. So the first one is a short to-do list or a plan list. Don't have like a long to-do list, because it's gonna be overwhelming for you. So if you can just have short, ranking from high to low, medium range, high to low range, in terms of like prioritizing and all that. So you're gonna know what is important, what is urgent. So if you can just have at least those 3 categories of high, medium, and low. Yeah. And what you can avoid is obviously having a long list that's going to overwhelm you. You won't know what to do first and what not to do first. So and I would advise you to have it on like a daily basis. You can just in the morning, or maybe at night before you go to bed, you prepare your to-do list already for tomorrow. That's a plan or a to-do list. Another thing is to take live lecture notes in class. I know that I'm speaking like this, like as if I'm directly addressing only the university students, but that's not really the case. The high school learners also, they do take notes of this, because they don't regard the teacher as the lecturer, but then it's the same concept really. So take a live lecture notes in class. You're gonna have your notes at your own space, maybe at rest or at home, taking out the notes from that chapter. But when you get to the class also, don't say, okay, no, I have already written the notes and all that. What the lecturer or the teacher is going to say in class is to elaborate more on what the textbook is saying. So please make sure that you always have your exercise book and your pen, and you take notes as you go by, or you have your pencil or your highlighter, and you just keep, I'm quite a messy person, that I don't want to encourage you on that, but how I would do it is that on the notes that I have written, I will just keep on like maybe highlighting or circling the points, and maybe making some arrow and putting on some extra information. That's how I would do it. Or I just go on a clean, I can actually do it both at the same time. I can just go on a clean sheet, then I write Mr. Romeo's extra notes for chapter 10. That's how I would do it. And I know that I listen attentively and I take notes. I just make notes, making sure that I also take point of the key points that I mentioned there, because how they elaborate, it's actually they give you a light on what you're going to be assessed on. So you really have to be smart and learn to study the lectures. That's one thing that I did. If you'd like me to elaborate on this, obviously you can always have the suggestions on what to put on our video content video. Yeah. And what you wouldn't do, this is what you can do. What you wouldn't do is only to listen to the lecture. You go there and you listen. You don't do that. It's not like, there's a difference between listening to a lecture and listening to a music. So what you do now, it's like listening to a music. You can't go to the lecture room at the class and then the next thing you just sit there and you listen. That's not how it's gonna work. You need to have some engagement. ask questions instantly. That's what you can do. And what you cannot do is to be hesitant and asking your peers later. Oh, you said this is what Mr. Romeo said later on in class, but I just couldn't ask. Can do you know? I'm not saying you shouldn't trust your peers for you to ask questions. My peers, my friends, my colleagues, they trusted me to get the information and all that. But personally, I preferred from the horse's mouth, if I can just say that. So if I have a question or a confusion at that point in time, I'm gonna raise it, and I know that I'm gonna get the response exactly from the lecture, because that's the way to also hold them accountable. But then it's not like they would say anything wrong. Yeah. So please do develop that bravery to ask in class, because that means almost everything. Yeah, it's very imperative. Make use of consultation hours. This is what you can do. And what you cannot do, I wouldn't do, it's spending more time trying to figure it out. Yes, at first you do, especially when it's numerical or you don't understand something, you can go out of your way and then you try to figure it out and all that. But you can't spend days and weeks trying to figure it out. Since when you put like you have been putting like a pending note here saying that you still need to ask this and all that. No, I'm not sure how it's done on other universities or institutions, but I know that our system is quite standardized. So make use of the consultation hours. On the door, on my lectures door, the office doors, there will always be like consultation hours, like 30 minutes and all that, and you know where you can just squeeze yourself in and you attend the lecture and ask them questions. And please ask like in informative questions, like you have an idea, you do your homework first, you figure out where you lost, you use those consultation hours. And highlight the key points. There's a difference between highlighting a paragraph and highlighting the key points, which is highlighting the paragraph and highlighting the key points. When you highlight the key points, you are creating like a short meaningful content out of something that it's just so massive, so like an influx of information. So please learn to highlight just the key points, and when you actually like how the cancer, so the key points still they can make something meaningful. Yeah, instead of just highlighting the whole paragraph, then you are not summarizing, and that's still gonna be overwhelming for you. You won't be able to like capture that information quite well in your mind. Use your golden time. You guys, I love to preach about golden times. We all have golden times. You just need to know when is your golden time. I know that from 12 a.m. until maybe 5, you can customize your own golden time, and also that is going to be it's gonna depend on like your atmosphere, your surroundings. You know when it's noisy, you know when it's so quiet and all that. So you just need to be observant of your space, and you know that okay, can be my golden time, because this is when I can be productive and there's no noise. So just be observant of that. If you already have your golden time, it's about time you use it. Please do. From me, from my side, I will use like from around 11 p.m. until maybe 2-3 a.m. It's gonna depend. I'm gonna get to this. I know someone is asking like, when do you sleep and all that. So please don't sleep away your golden hours. Do not do that. Prioritize your duties or your time, and what you can avoid doing. What you can do is to actually prioritize your duties. What I wouldn't do, or you wouldn't want to do, is to have inconvenient activities. Guys, I'm a very outgoing person, and I have been like that since university. So I would always know that I have to study. Like that's my daily bread. That's my full-time job that I would have to do, to study, and I would do that. Should we have we do live like a spontaneous life. We are always on the clock and all that, but to avoid inconvenient activities is to know what you need to do first, what needs to be done first. Don't say, oh okay, you didn't plan to do it. I know you don't always have to like stick to the plan. It can be, you can have like a messy schedule around, but you need to have your timeline. If you know that you are writing in 3 days and unexpectedly your friends or whoever they need you to go somewhere with them, or you, even if it's a party, if you know that you haven't covered the content that you need to cover, you need to be that calculated, you wouldn't go anywhere. I remember I always make this example, even on last year. My friend was having a baby shower. She hosted her own baby shower, and I'm like, my love, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it. Just please give me some time. Let me try to assess myself and see how much I have, because I have exams in 3 consecutive days. So I was able to, just go around my books and everything, and I'm like, okay, I am confident to go to the baby shower. And after the baby shower, I still need to calculate that, okay, this is the hours that I'm gonna need for this volume of content. Another, the next point, the second last, is to have boundaries. Learn to say no, and learn to not always be available, rather be available later. It's something that I'm still learning to do, but I think I'm coming quite well. Just that I couldn't really master that on in high school or university. Hence, we are here so that I can say, yay, don't do that. So have boundaries. Having boundaries it's knowing that your friends budgets in, and you are busy with your study time and all that. Can say, Chomi, can I please do this later with you, not now? That's you being able to say later. You are politely refusing to do it at that time. Sufficient sleep. This is what you need to do, and what you can avoid about this is oversleeping or having fewer sleeping hours. For me, I'm not an expert. I'm not a health expert to advise on how many hours you can sleep. Me, I know that 6 hours is enough for me. If I go over 6 hours or 6 hours 30 minutes, I will yawn the whole day. I will get tired. So 6 hours is for me. But one thing that I can say to you is that I wouldn't advise anyone to sleep 8 hours. Maybe when you are still in grade 7, grade 8, but the minute of grade 10, 12, tertiary level, I don't think we have that time to sleep like 8 hours. Yeah, it's almost my working time now. I don't think we have that time to sleep 8 hours, guys. Program your body to sleep at least 7 hours. Even the authors out there, I just can't remember this other lady, but I have her on my YouTube playlist or video list. Yeah. And also Steve Harvey, he said that the riches don't sleep 8 hours. So don't try to comfort yourself. Oh, I get enough sleep, I sleep 8 hours and all that, but you know that you are not really effective. So please be reasonable about taking your naps during the day. Be reasonable about sleeping. You can't take a nap of like 2 hours and then still you're gonna sleep around like another 8 hours. Okay, how many times are you gonna sleep in 24 hours? So please be smart about that one. That's all I'm gonna say. So this is what you can do and what you can just avoid doing. I hope this was helpful, it was fruitful, and this is going to prep you now for our next content videos. This was just an introduction, and I didn't actually do introduction of myself and the study room at the beginning, but I'm just going to give you a very short understanding of where we're coming from, not where we're going, maybe a little bit. But yeah, my full name is Tlamelo Lelokwani. I graduated in 2020 cum laude doing management. I'm specializing in financial management. I went to Germany in 2019. I did business administration, specializing in finance and accounting. And we started the study room in 2021. But we officially registered it as an NPO last year, around June, the 3rd of June, I think. Yes, and we do have we have directors that are very, very hands-on, innovative and creative. I really adore them and I admire them so much. I appreciate their presence in the NPO, and we also have the task team that are helping with just simple daily operations. We do have the mentorship now, those who you're gonna have that assigned mentor who's going to help you. I'm also here as a mentor. Remember that it started with me, this studying thing. I was just there helping one-on-one and all that. And I got so overwhelmed because it was like we reached over 500 mentees, and I couldn't do it alone. Obviously, it's impossible. So we do have the mentors that will be allocated to the mentees. Please know that mentorship is a two-way street. You are expected to be active and proactive, and we will be there to help you. We are always there to help you, but we just know that we won't be going around anyone. Honestly, I'm just speaking with a very lovely, everything. So I don't want to make this video long, but this is us, and we are going forth. So thank you so much for tuning in. And if you want to register officially in the study room, you can send a text on WhatsApp. I'm gonna put the details there. You're going to have your Google form. It's a very short brief form, and also pay the 50 Rand registration fee, and that will be all. You will be registered on our database. We will be taking you, we will onboard you, and you will just have an idea of how we're going to work. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week, the rest of the month, the rest of the year.